Good evening. Have you ever wondered why so many high school children feel the need to take AP classes? My name is Robert Branson, and I'd like to address that today and let you know just a little bit about the statistics and some information to figure out if it in fact is the right path for your child. Over the last decade, there's been a steady increase in the number of AP classes offered and the number of students taking these courses. However, if you look at the number of students passing the tests, there has been a decline in that number. Now, there are different opinions about the College Board Advanced Placement Program and the attention placed on the program at the high school level. I've witnessed two of my children battle the program and currently have another challenging the program. One conquered the program, one dropped out, and the other one is stressfully making it through. But the problem is the AP classes don't tend to lend to a social life. Children are so stressed out that they don't understand what it is to be social because all of their time is given to the AP classes. Now, who truly benefits from the AP classes? That's something that only you and your children can figure out. There is no right answer. And the grind that parents and children go through every time they're trying to decide whether to take an AP class or not is definitely something else that needs to be addressed, but it only can be addressed by the children and the students. Now, what I'd really like to touch on is the College Board, and it is a non-profit organization. And the AP courses, they were created back in the 1950s to afford overachieving high school kids the opportunity to potentially earn college credit while still in high school. But if you look at some of the numbers, in 2015, the College Board had a total of $916 million in revenue, of which $408 million came from the fees for the test and instructional materials. Now, according to a report issued by the Washington Post, many of the top executives of the big education nonprofits pay their bosses quite a bit. In fact, more than 19 of them earn over $1,000 an hour. And as I mentioned in my opening, over the past 2 decades, the AP courses has quadrupled. And of course, the test scores do not reflect the amount of students taking the tests because the test scores are on a steady decline. Now, to successfully pass an AP course, a student must obtain a 3 on the test. And a 3, of course, means that they are qualified. If they get a 4, they are well qualified, and a 5 means they are extremely well qualified. When the test first came out, a 3 would basically get you a couple college credits here and a couple college credits there. However, in recent years, most universities has raised the 3 to now the 4 factor, where you are well qualified and they will give you the same college courses, or credits, that you received for the 3. So you have to be careful when you're looking at the AP classes and what they're really worth. Now, qualified, of course, signifies that the student should be able to handle a class at normal college level. And of course, the well qualified and the very well qualified means that they should be able to progress a little bit faster. There have been some interesting reports that have been issued lately, and one of them is from a Stanford University education expert named Denise Pope. And I'd like to read exactly what it is she says here because I think it's worthwhile and gives you a really good insight as to where she's coming from. She says, if you are truly interested in the subject, there's a good teacher, and you're surrounded by other motivated students, then you're probably going to have a good experience taking a more advanced class. But if you're pushed into it without good preparation and without a safety net in place at the school to help you get over your head, then it may be more harmful than helpful. Now, as you can see, AP classes aren't for everyone. Not every student should take them, but some students should. And she also goes on to say that students should only take AP courses based on their future career path. Emmy Harward is a director of college counseling at the Bishop's School of Walhalla in California. She points out that students shouldn't take AP courses in math and science if they're going to pursue something in, say, English or journalism, and vice versa. They shouldn't take AP history if they're going to be a math person or a science person, because it is a waste of their time and of the resources, because they're not going to get the true benefit of the AP class. Now, another problem with the AP class is many colleges aren't accepting the 3, if that's what you're getting, or just not accepting the AP test at all, and a lot of the high school students have to repeat the courses that they took in high school, thinking they were going to get college credits for those. The problem here is there's been very little research, especially independent research, performed on the benefits of taking AP classes and how it can affect the students. Now, the effect on the students is really coming, I guess, from more of the parent side, to where they see their children stressing out a lot and giving up their summer vacation, their Christmas vacation, their spring break, because they have classes that they have to take, or they have reading that they have to do. So they're not socializing when they should be, and they're coming home from school and they're spending 3, 4, 5 hours doing homework when they really should be spending maybe an hour and then having a social life. Well, that's not happening, and it is a problem. And then Nehobi Gonzalez, an economist at Mathematica Policy Research, she found that kids that were taking the preliminary SAT were receiving a message on their results stating that they would probably do well in an AP class. However, they're either overlooking that or they just don't care, because in the study that she did and the results she found, most of those students were not enrolling in the AP classes. And in fact, what's happening is students that really shouldn't be taking AP classes were being directed to take AP classes and were signing up, but in the end, they were paying the price for taking the AP class when they really and truly shouldn't. Now, it appears there really isn't a right or wrong answer when it comes to AP courses. Is it the right path for you? Is it the right path for me? It's a choice. It's a choice that has to be made by the students and the parents together. Now, when it comes to the future of our children, the last thing we want is failure. We want them to experience everything that we either didn't, or, of course, to elaborate more on what we did. There is an unconditional love a parent has for a child, but it only carries so much weight when it comes to a high school child making a decision. So the parent has to be careful and walk that thin line as to, do I push? Don't I push? Know when to push back. But it is a choice that needs to be made, and the choice that has to be made not only by the student, but also by the parent, and they have to make it together. And I hope that you learned something here, and that you have a better understanding of what AP courses are for, what they originally intended for, and who needs to make that decision whether to take them or not. Thank you, and have a nice day.